I just got an abandoned and extremely rare supercar.
Ta-da! It's your new car. What is this? It's your problem now.
My friend Freddie gave me this fire damaged Noble M12 and this crash damaged Noble M400. Now I start by taking both of these cars apart, getting everything ready to be repaired. I've already started some fiberglass repairs, and now it's on to the rest of the car. Welcome back to Jack Builds It, and welcome back to the Noble M400 build. Behind me is the Noble M12 fire damage car. Before we get to this car, if you guys like this kind of content, consider subscribing to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, it really helps me out. Here is the Noble M12 fire damage car, and there's not a lot that is good on this car, but what is good is the front of this car, and what is bad on the Noble M400 is the front of the car. So what we are going to do is we are going to strip down this whole front. We're going to take all the useful parts off the car, including some parts that we think might be rebuildable, like the brake calipers, because those weren't on the M400, as well as a few other miscellaneous parts. That's enough talking. I got to get geared up, and let's get this thing going right now. With no time to waste, I removed the wheel because I was really hopeful that I was going to be able to salvage a lot of the parts off the front of this car. And thankfully, everything that I looked at looked very good. It didn't get that much heat damage, but that doesn't mean that we aren't going to make this better and rebuild these things. The brakes are definitely going to get a reseal kit, and I'm definitely going to not reuse these rotors, but I was super thankful that all of the suspension components were still good. Even the bushings hadn't burned or hardened. Now I start by removing these side panels so that I can have access to the radiator condenser and the radiator fans. But before I did that, I removed these air vents here that go into the blower box. This is what feeds the air conditioning, the air from the outside of the car. With the radiator ready to come out, I promptly drain all of the fluid onto the floor past the pan, making a huge mess. Now I remove the other vent along with this metal piece here between the radiator and the clamshell. What this does is it directs the air through the front of the clamshell, through the radiator, and out the top of the clamshell. With the side panels out of the way, I was now able to take out the radiator and condenser. Here, I actually removed the entire suspension as one assembly. The reason why I was doing this is because I wanted to put all the bolts back in place so that I knew where they went when I go to put this car back together. I will probably end up replacing these bolts, but this way I know what size to use and what type of bolt. You guys know we are always busy building really cool cars and making fun videos around here, but when I get a free chance to play something, I love to play today's sponsor, War Thunder. War Thunder is a free-to-play, large-scale multiplayer action game where ground vehicles, aircraft, and naval vessels fight in dynamic battles at locations around the world. The game is available on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Mac. War Thunder perfectly captures the scale and sensation of a fierce battle using military equipment. The list of available tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships include all iconic machines and lesser known prototypes from the mid 20th century to present. Graphics, physics, and the sound in War Thunder are consistently improving so that the game looks stunning and allows players to immerse themselves in an atmosphere of a real war with the dynamic of a Hollywood blockbuster. Fans of military vehicles will be thrilled at how detailed every element of the equipment is on War Thunder, both visually and in the gameplay, making each machine distinct in battle and having unique features. In War Thunder, all of the advanced military technologies are available: guided missiles, active protection systems, smoke screens, night vision devices, and more, as well as reconnaissance and strike drones, and even a nuclear strike that can flatten the map. War Thunder allows you to play the way you want. Break through the front lines in a tank, cover ground vehicles from a helicopter, or participate in fighter battles among the clouds. Different types of equipment fight together on the same map. All vehicles in the game can be upgraded and improved with the additional modules. In addition, War Thunder offers a huge amount of visual customization elements and skins, allowing you to make your combat machine unique. Thanks to War Thunder's unique damage model, there is no need for health bars. Every hit on the enemy has its effect. Disable their track and immobilize the opponent. If you hit the plane's fuel tank, it will ignite. Each hit is visualized with X-ray mode. There's been a recent update, Alpha Strike. In the game, Hungarian aviation is now available along with a plethora of new equipment, both modern and classic. Visual effects have been significantly improved and gameplay has been refined based on the community request. A new map for intense tank battle and aviation battles, North Holland, where you can fight in the red light district or create a small apocalypse in the shopping center. Download War Thunder for free by using the link in the description. All new players and those who haven't played War Thunder for half of a year or more will receive special bonuses. Rentals for the P-40E1 aircraft and the M4 tank for a week, along with the free unique skins for them. A special decorator, Eagle of Valor, 100,000 silver lions, 3 premium vehicles for free, a week of a premium account, and even more gifts. Hurry up, the American vehicle bonus season will end soon. Now, let's get back to the build. It's the next day and we were putting in a ton of work yesterday even though AT&T decided they weren't going to. Haha. Anyway, look at all of these good parts that I have here on the floor. There's so many things that are going to be really useful for the M400 shell. But one of the things that I recognized yesterday about the front over here was that I'm going to have to cut a lot more than I thought I was going to have to cut. So we already previously looked at these bars and knew these needed to be replaced. And as you can see here, it's bent kind of like that, then this way, and then it goes this way. But if we come over here, there's a little bit of a weird bend in this one where it goes up and then over this way, and then it kind of comes back a little bit. That's not supposed to be like that because if you look over here at this one, these are almost perfectly straight. There is no bend at all in these, and yeah, so I already knew those were going to have to be replaced, and I figured that I would replace just these small sections that go to the front there. But there's more. Let's take a look over here again. And I have to point this out to you right here. This is actually where the buckle, you can kind of see how it's got some rust starting right there. That's because it buckled when this piece here got hit. It kind of shoved this down. So if this goes down here, this whole assembly across here is going to go down. So with that being down there, that's going to cause problems over here, throwing off the geometry of the suspension, causing this to be a lot more than I thought it was going to be. But there's hope, because now I've already looked at how I'm going to section this in. I'm actually going to have to cut this thing off right here. So I'm going to cut this whole front section off. And not only that, if you look right there, this is oblonged and it's hard to see on video, but that does like a whoop. It kind of goes in and then dips like that. That is pretty bad. I could fix that, but if I just replaced it, it would be a lot easier. Now let me show you how easy this is going to be to replace. If you look here on the inside of the car, we have a bar that comes down, connects here, is welded across here, and then there's another bar at the bottom. It's kind of hard to see. Let me see if I can get this in focus. It's not going to focus, but anyway, you get the idea. There's another bar down there. Those bars only connect at the top and at the bottom, and then this piece here connects to the top. It actually has some stitch welds. There's a weld across here, as you can see, and there's a weld there, a weld there, and then a weld there. There's a few welds, just gotta break those free. Then I will replace that whole front section. And we know that when we replace that, after measuring off of this one over here, that everything will be straight and in place. But there's a lot of work left to do. I still have to get everything usable off this car today. That's a lot of work. And I have somewhere I have to be. So I am leaving this Monday to go to a friend of mine's shop. And you'll see that later on in this video because that's where I'm gonna go get these parts from. I'm gonna go get Noble parts. That's your hint. Let's get to work.
Even though one Noble is lost, we still have the opportunity to save another. So with everything that is left on this car that I can salvage, I remove it all and get it ready to go on to the other car. It's kind of hard chopping a car up like this, but it's good to know that this car is going to save the other one.
Okay, so as you can see, I've cut a lot of this away, and the reason I'm doing that is because I have to get all of this stuff out of the way so that I'm able to get to the things on the back side of the dash. When they put this car together, they put it together complicated because it doesn't have any nutserts and anything. It doesn't have stuff where it's just easy, take the bolt out from one side. It's got a bolt with a nut behind it, and the nut is a lock nut. So it's kind of a pain to get to. So that's why you saw me hacking away all this stuff. But I just discovered something really cool. Check this out. So this car says USA, and I'm pretty sure that is 78. And the reason I say that's 78 is because I know it's 78. On the inside here, if you can see that, it says USA 78. That's really cool. So this was the 78th M12 to be built for the USA is what I assume that means. Really cool, man. So this is 78 and the M400 is 147 from other markings that I've discovered on that car. So this car is going to be part 78 and part 147. So we're blending them together. I think Freddie said like, that's how we blend them.
With everything out of the way, now I remove the brake pedal and the brake booster.
I just discovered something hilarious, and that's this right here. This piece here is, it looks like Canada Dry. I'm pretty sure this is a carton for Canada Dry soda. And this was actually right here like this. And if you see on the bottom edge, it's opened, and I believe that was for air to travel to the feet area of the car. Bro, that's hilarious. All right, back to work.
With the steering wheel and the steering shaft disconnected from the steering rack, I now get this all ready to come on out so that I can use this piece because I know the one on the other car took a pretty big impact.
Okay, so I freshened up, I got a haircut, and now I have to go. I got all the parts for the Noble moved over to the other shop. I've saved a lot of parts from the burn car. I'm not completely done there yet, but now is time to get on the road. I have to go catch a flight. So I'll see you guys where I'm gonna go find some more Noble parts. Clue number 2, off to the airport, on to Aer Lingus.
What an awesome flight and a beautiful view as I left Florida. The food on Aer Lingus was delicious, I watched a bunch of movies, and I landed in the morning in the UK. This is where I met up with my friends, Matt and his dad, Tony. We set fire to this car. It was kind of funny.
We should put that out.
The next morning, Tony and I headed over to Jetstream Motorsports, where I found this amazing M12. Just take a look at some of the beauty shots of this car.
I am over at Jetstream Motorsport in the UK, and this is the first thing that I see when I come to the shop. This looks amazing. This is a custom body made here at Jetstream Motorsports. Take a look at the wide body fenders. It has wider wheels. Everything is exactly how I would want to build this car. I love that they have closed off some of the air vents here. They've changed the design here. It's a little bit more rounded. It's kind of smiling at you. He's happy. But this is an M12 RSR built specifically for this customer. He added the louvers here. This is a full custom. This is not a factory clamshell. These are both brand new clamshells made here. And I found this place thanks to Tony over here, because everybody loves Tony, including me. He's been a wonderful host to me here the whole time I've been here in the UK, helping you guys out. So thank you so much, Tony, for bringing me around. This has been really, really, really fun. What do you think of this car?
It's great. It's great. It's so different, isn't it?
It's so cool. My favorite part is this. Like, I was thinking about something like this, right? But I love that when you close this down here, it kind of gives you a view of the engine. The engine could be cleaned up and made to look a little better, but that looks really good. It has a big giant wing on it. Over here, they use the Ford Mondeo taillights, so that's something that's a little different than the one that's on mine, as well as this piece here on the body. It's a little bit shorter on the one that I have. I love the fact that they have their own personal wide body kit. I've talked to them here, and I'm interested in getting this body. I think this would be something that would stand out so much at SEMA, and it would make the car that much better. But one of the things that I saw right away on this car was the filler neck and how they have the filler neck incorporated out here. So I really like, let me come over here and show you guys this, but the filler neck is just poking out right there, and he has it mounted right there. But they also did some cool custom latches. These latches are not this small. They've been ground down and put in and molded, and he's bolted them right here where he's drilled a hole and made the brackets right here to clip on. This looks freaking awesome. I am really, really excited about this. Again, they've done the center wiper, which gives it that supercar, hypercar look. Really, really cool. I love the louvered vents here. That's something that I'm thinking about doing on my car. I have a different idea. I like the way that looks, but I want to add a little bit of a twist to it because I've seen something like this before. The mirrors, they look so much better on this car. It gives it such a sleek design, definitely gives it more of a modern feel. We just need to go and find parts now. So he has a few parts here for me. I'm gonna probably get a list together and send this over to him, but Tony's gonna close this up for me here. Take a look. This thing looks so sick. This guy has one badass car. This thing looks so good, man. I am stoked. All right, so now I know what I gotta do. I gotta get a body imported from the UK, and I'm definitely thinking this is what I'm gonna put on the car. So this has been a really good trip for me because now I have a very clear vision and some leads on some of the things that I want to get done for the car. So let's get back over there now.
After an amazing trip, it was now time to leave, and I was really sad. But I was super stoked that I was able to help out Matt with his M3, as well as find parts for the Noble.
I'm back in the States. I'm back in the shop, as you can see. Thanks to Tony and Matt for their hospitality. And I'm so stoked that I found those body parts. But in the next episode, we're gonna get this frame on a table, set it up, and try to cut the front end off. And hopefully the rest of the car isn't bent. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.